So, keeping with DC for a bit, right? I'm going to talk briefly about the first 3 episodes of Doom Patrol, and then we're going to jump into Harley Quinn season 2.
Right.
So, reason being why want to keep things short with Doom Patrol, is okay. So, because it's out on HBO Max right now, right? Like the series has moved across there now, right? So because of that, I didn't really get enough time to recap the first season of Doom Patrol, which we enjoyed for what it was, right? We dug how distinct and
I rated it quite high. I remember rating that high. I loved that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Mostly because that's mostly because of the main villain, Alan Tudyk. He's great.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Who will come back later as the Joker in Harley Quinn, right? But yeah,
right.
you know what I dug was how unique it was. It's really a distinct show. Like it's not unlike it's unlike any other show you've seen though. Yes, even though it's within the comic book / superhero genre, it goes out of its way to be as distinct as possible. I will almost compare it to something like Legion, right, which wrapped up a few years ago. I didn't get around to watching the final season of that though, but that was one in particular. This is from the X-Men universe, by the way, where it really went out of its way to be as weird and avant-garde as possible, right? But here, it had a powerful theme about family. This ragtag family of these individuals. Well, we'll call them freaks, as just them kind of getting used to themselves and their powers and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's a really strong emotional center to this show here, even though I'd admit, and for some people going in, they might get turned off by it. It's not really reliant on a lot of like action set pieces or whatnot, right? But anyway, so this season, well, the first 3 episodes pretty much pick up right where the last episode stopped off, where our heroes become shrunk, right? This is after the fight against them and Mr. Nobody, right? And there's this subplot involving, well, Calder, who's played by Timothy Dalton, finding his daughter, Dorothy Spinner, right? Who is a freak as well, and they actually start the episode off with her back in like the late 1920s at some circus actually. So she's like a sideshow basically, right? She's the ape-faced girl, and they'll later explain how. Sorry.
Quick question. Do they mention or even like address the crisis event at all? Because it showed them in the end.
They don't. It was weird.
I
haven't picked up on any reference or anything at all about the crisis. Right. Yeah. So essentially we see Dorothy, and then she has we see a skill set basically where she's able to like channel these imaginary friends, one of which is this like large antler head antler rocking, gigantic creature kind of thing. And then, well, afterwards, they just cut to present times now, and she, along with her dad and the other members of the Doom Patrol, except for Larry, are shrunk, right? So Larry is the one who just has to keep them safe. They're in this kind of makeshift, town, basically. So he just kind of watching over them now. And of course, our heroes just trying to figure out what to do, right? But yeah, essentially, it's about our heroes dealing with her and her shenanigans now. And then, well, eventually one thing we see next, and they're back to normal size, and they have to deal with normal stuff, right? We learn later on that Calder is dying because he kind of gave up his which is something I forgot, that he actually lived for a very long time. So he gave up those powers basically to pretty much save, his surrogate family, right? So now there's a particular item that can restore his immortality. So they're looking for that now. And along the way, we encounter a couple of villains and whatnot. One in which is really one of the freakiest villains like I've seen in the series as far. I'll get to that in a bit. And then, of course, our heroes just deal with, the individual moral dilemmas, right? And I'll leave it at that. So I'll confess something, right? I really should have recapped the first season for this though, because and I wouldn't call this a gripe though, but I guess the creators of the show cannot trust that you are on board, right? But I'm sorry, like we talked about this before. When there are just so much shows out there, especially superhero shows, it's just a lot to
Yeah, kind
catch up
of
on, right? And it's
yeah.
hard. So like I have to remember, okay, what's Jane's dilemma? What's Rita's dilemma? What's
I had a,
Larry and
I had
all
a
that
big
kind of stuff.
memory of, yeah, I had a big memory of what everybody was about. But yeah, it's like the little plot things that you just miss at times. Uh,
Exactly, because
yeah,
like for me, like okay, like surface level, you kind of know, okay, this is what Cyborg going through, this is what Cliff going through, him and
right.
his family, all that kind of stuff. You get those things, right? But the deeper stuff, like there were things that went on in the first season that I was trying to remember while I was watching these first 3 episodes. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
shit. If only I'd watched those, I'd have been like, all right, cool, on board, right? So thankfully, because the first 3 episodes are out, now I could actually go back to the first season and kind of just recap it quick and then jump back into it and be like, oh,
Right,
okay,
right,
this is what's going on. Okay, okay. Yeah.
right.
Because yeah, the show doesn't hold your hand and tell you, well, last season on Doom
Right,
Patrol,
right.
all these things happen. It just starts immediately afterwards, right? Acting is still great. Music is still fantastic. Cinematography still on point. Yeah, this is a still a gorgeous looking show. The pace is still slow, but I mean, this is part of Doom Patrol right now, right? This is the type of show that's all about character and all about character, interactions and motivations and build up and all that kind of stuff. It's not about big action set pieces. You do get those ever so often, but it's not about that, right? And of course, it's about them weird imageries and weird images, sorry, and weird characters, right? And now I'll
Yeah.
get to one of probably the weirdest characters seen the show thus far. That would be the character of Red Jack, who is introduced as Jack the Ripper, right? So you see this
Okay.
little flashback involving a young Calder actually. Well, this is the first time he met him, right? But yeah, Red Jack is pretty much it's like Doom Patrol's version of Pinhead. He is this
Okay. Right.
sadistic motherfucker. He relishes in pain, in delivering pain and accepting pain, all that kind of stuff. And you really get some pretty disturbing moments. One involving, one of his skill sets involve butterflies or turning characters into butterflies. And yeah, if it sounds messed up, yeah, it does because it gets really really messed up. But it doesn't go too far though. But just letting you all know, some metamorphoses take place and it's kind of fucked
Right,
up,
right.
right? But yeah, but I will confess though, just if I have a gripe though, there is no mean body in this though, like how we had with Mr. Nobody. And I wish the show had that. Like just this one singular bad guy that, we trying to take down and we kind of see what he's trying to do. Here it just
Right.
seems like it's a different character. Well, technically in these 3 episodes now. And I don't know if this is going to be the case going forward. I really hope not. But yeah, you kind of have to give us a strong villain, what I mean, just to counteract with, what's going on with Calder and him dying and all that kind of stuff. But like I say, it's the first 3 episodes. I really wish that I knew everything, like I remembered everything else going into it. So yeah, I would admit that at sometimes I was a little confused. Like, all right, what just happened there? Like,
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
remember, but I had to let the show flow now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, good thing that the first 3 are out. So if you were a fan of the first season, definitely check it out. But I really strongly recommend that you at least kind of recap the first season, or I don't know, maybe go on YouTube, watch some recap of the first season. I know there's videos out for that. Like there are some YouTubers who are like really, really like um how would I say by thank well, you should really thank though for actually for them doing the hard work for you basically, like literally them just kind of running through everything so you don't have to spend a bunch of time running through what 15 episodes of the first season, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah. And what I'm seeing here is that this one is going to be 9 episodes actually.
Okay.
So it's going to wrap up in early August. I don't know if we're gonna get more from there. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But hopefully when that season is wrapped up, we could do like a full review of it. But for now, I mean, it's fine. It's still maintains the same style and
Yeah.
same feel of the first season. But like I say, you really do need a refresher before going into this second season. And yeah, that's all I have to say about the first 3 episodes of season 2 of Doom Patrol.
Okay, yeah. So right, I'm gonna catch up with this. I'll probably just pick these off one at a time ever so often. So I'll probably do 3 at a time maybe. And because I'm watching Stargate now, but again, it's kind of hard to get through that as well. So I'll probably
Oh
just
really?
make a.
What was the problem with Stargate? 'Cause I only saw the premiere and that was it.
It's too normal. It not wow man yet. It just have a good decent enough cast and it's kind of interesting, but not doing anything from it yet. So let's pick off both at a time. I'll probably just do one Doom Patrol, one Stargate at a time and see what's going on. If I
Okay.
could I've seen.
Yeah, well, look at the bright side. At least you don't have no CW stuff to worry your head over. Although to be fair, well, we didn't really mention this, but I guess I could quickly. Legends of Tomorrow, season 5 was pretty good. Not excellent, not fantastic, of course. A little muddled, a little all over the place, but that's what you expect. But at least compared to Flash and Supergirl, it stayed focused. It had a story, it had a narrative that it stuck to, and even when characters went here, there, everywhere, at least it stayed focused on what was going on. And that's what I wanted with those other shows I mentioned.
Well, they did a thing that I didn't think would have worked, but that's Zarya and her brother. Your brother is a new character for the new timeline kind of scenario.
Yes,
and she works quite well. So it's like, all right, cool. They stay in the show. Whatever.
Yeah, and I actually dug him as a new quote unquote character. Yeah, he was cool. He was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So over the last week we've been hearing rumors, actually hasn't been confirmed as yet, that for the upcoming Flash movie, which they're gonna base, of course, on the whole Flashpoint paradox, right? The story.
Right.
They're thinking of I should say Warner/DC is considering bringing on Michael Keaton to reprise his role as of Bruce Wayne from '89 from the Tim Burton Batman films now, and I don't know the full details about it, but essentially, like, okay, because it's Flashpoint we're dealing with, it's in the future, so he's gonna be like how Bruce was in Batman Beyond in a sense, but I guess here they're gonna try to make him like a Nick Fury kind of character, so he's kind of leading the heroes to do something. He's not gonna don the costume and the cowl and fight crime now.
Somebody owe Movie Bob a check, Judd, at Warner Brothers.
Wait, he brought it up?
He straight like about 2-3 years ago, he straight up had this idea, Judd. He said, like, if I have a Flash movie, it had to be somebody helping him out from the future. And he said he wanted to be Batman, but it's not this Batman, but that Batman. And I was like, yeah, that is a decent idea. But it wasn't like a Flashpoint movie in the way it's a Flashpoint movie. If it was a Flashpoint movie, then we get we boy Negan as Batman, right?
Yes.
It's not that. It might start off as that, but it's not that. It's just like more Flash adventure, time travel, shenanigans, funny thing. And it's more like a Back to the Future kind of vibe. But yeah, he mentioned that you should have Bruce Wayne in the future, because that's like the best figure now to go to the future, somebody real smart and could help you out and know the history and can like track everything and make sense of everything to guide Flash. That was his idea. So I don't know if to do that or do something similar, but yeah, most likely it's that. But like I just kind of making a joke because
but it sounds like something that he would have come up with. But yeah, I mean, give Movie Bob his dues, man. Come on.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I wanted a Flash movie. Well, I mean, they already shit the bed with the whole DCU thing, but like my attitude for what a Flash movie should have been is it begins the events of a crisis event. So like Flash would start off, you do a normal thing, then you start off and you use that as a impetus for actual crisis event where Flash goes to another universe from there, and maybe you bring in Yellow Flash to help that out or cause that. But it's not a time travel story in the same way. But you could do a kind of time travel story if you want. But the thing is, they already do the crisis event anyway, so it don't matter. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Look, it's something that people are talking about a hot minute. I'm not too hype over this, frankly, because again, you had to wait till they do it. And for what I understand, the Patterson Batman supposed to be doing its own thing, like if it's like how Joker was, like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Right. It's its own story, its own quote unquote universe, if you want to call it that. Yeah.
From what I understand, it's supposed to be its own trilogy. So it's like a Nolan trilogy. It's just doing its own thing, its own pocket universe. Don't make a reference to anything. No continuity stuff. So that
but here's the thing though, as you bring up Nolan, we've done the trilogy before. We've done it. People either either love it, hate it, or in between it. So why are we
Right.
doing another trilogy? Why not?
They
Well,
give, they give
since y'all
Batman.
want to do DCEU shit so bad, try to
No, well,
incorporate him into it
no,
somehow.
that ain't happening. So I know that happening. It would for understand that is what they're doing. But in the case of like having thing do the Batman, so I don't know what Batman this is. Is this a future version of Ben Affleck's Batman or a future alternate version of Ben Affleck's Batman? Like they get like the Flashpoint gonna be their own Flashpoint, but they're gonna Back to the Future and don't make it as dark. Like just one part it could be dark, but you just reset everything. So who wanna come back could come back, and who can't come back gonna get erased. The Cavill coming back, but Ben Affleck not coming back, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So and then we know Wonder Woman coming back for sure, so she could come back. Stuff like that. And my attitude is that you just you reset her in that sense because it's like whoever you don't shit the bed with the whole thing, just do the flashpoint where everybody is kind of seeing wherever we go find out. I think there's that kind of lazy thing, but like him as Keaton now, the only thing I'm interested in is what is Batman Beyond because I would have loved to see Pattinson as Batman Beyond, right?
Same here. Same here. Yeah.
Right, that's it. But we're not getting that, so whatever. Like if they decide if like all of this was a bullshit distraction and Patterson is not real thing and they're really doing Batman Beyond with him, then fine. But they might cast Batman Beyond, we ain't sure. So I ain't sure what they're doing there. Whatever. They still already have a script with thing. Like is Ezra Miller still gonna be Flash? What's going on there?
Yeah. Well, good point there. Yeah, I mean they mentioned everything except who is going to play Flash, right?
Yeah, because like what is the I if I remember correctly, I don't follow this news all the time, but did he get like hashtag cancelled because he choked out some girl or something? So
yeah, I saw the video and yeah, I heard he got kicked out because of that, right? Well, kicked
okay,
out.
I don't follow all these little bullshit news things. That's so useless unless you're actually making money from it. Like it's real useless to follow because I don't care about these people personally. Like I just want to see what they're gonna do with the characters, and then if shit going down, then I'll try to follow it because like I'll actually care this time. But whatever. Michael Keaton, plain old Batman. Everybody wanted it. I want it. Great. Do it.
Yeah. If it does become a reality, I just hope that they do the character justice because it's not like Tim Burton's gonna be there as producer or like what he was on Batman Forever, right? Like what I mean?
Right.
He done gone past that years ago, Jared. So yeah, I just hope that they do Michael Keaton's character justice.
Right. And my favorite version of Bruce Wayne in the is that one from the future. Like that's the old version of
of Bruce Wayne. Yeah, me I love that character actually. Yeah, I think that's why they want somebody familiar because like with Batman Forever the series, it was great having oh gosh, I'm forgetting the oh my god, I actually forgetting the actor's name. Oh sorry, Kevin Conroy, right? Oops.
Yeah, Conroy,
having Kevin Conroy play, from the animated series and Batman Beyond. It's like perfect. Makes sense, right? Yeah. Yes, it's the same character, but it's the same actor playing him. So perfect, right? So I think that's part of the sell with, Michael Keaton wanting him to be part of this thing now.
And he's still by far one of the most known Batman in the popular consciousness, in my opinion, even more than Bale. So I would just think it like that. I don't know. As I say, I want to see what they're going to do with it because I don't care about Flash so much as it is I care about Batman Beyond. That is my attitude towards it. Because like with Flash, just reset the timeline like they do with every fucking thing, lazy shit. But they're going to do that, so I go ahead and do it. There's not much to say because it's just so speculative right now. And I just want to see what the script going to be like, who directing, like just give me some names and go with that. Because the thing is, again, you mentioned that you should have just not have Patterson do their own thing and just incorporate their stuff and just do get them the money and then tell them fold it in one time now. So whatever you go see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on now, let's talk about Harley Quinn, the series, right? Not the movie. This will be season 2 of DC's Harley Quinn. We reviewed the first season last year. We enjoyed the hell out of it. It's actually this still, just slight spoiler, one of my favorite shows on the DC streaming platform right now. That's still one of my favorite adult animated comedies right now at this moment. But yeah, Ricardo, in a nutshell, what was season 2 of Harley Quinn about?
Right, so this one is following up from the events of season 1 where the Justice League gone missing and time passed and basically all the supervillains take over the city. So Two-Face, not Scarecrow, yeah, Two-Face thing. Well, Joker, I think Joker went missing as well because we know why. But yeah, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Bane, all of the big side, all of these guys just come together and just yeah, take over the city and then carve up Gotham because the government abandoned Gotham and Gordon going like again full mental break. So the Batman has also gone missing because he injured himself, and they basically have to address Harley Quinn having to she wanted to just take over the city by force by joining the Legion of Doom and then try to take over, and then they build from there. That's just where it starts off in the first half, and then the second half, it unravels and addresses itself in many ways. They capture Riddler. They have something with Doctor Psycho. Then they address Doctor Psycho a little later on, and so on and so forth. And then they address Mr. Free's storyline and whatnot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It comes to the end, and well, the big thing that is leading up to is the love triangle between Kite Man, Harley, and Ivy. Yes. And they address that. They address that quite well, much smarter than I thought they would have. Like I was expecting them to do this, and they didn't do it. They actually addressed it in a way that I didn't expect. Because they kind of write themselves in a corner with it, I thought, because all right, if they do this and pull the trigger on it, they won't be able to go anywhere with it. I felt, at least not as it is, but where they leave it off, I thought was smart. And then they bring back certain characters and bring back other characters later to address the narrative later on, but they make it work for the most part. We get to see a little bit of King Shark, his backstory. We get to see Saul, I forget the character's name, Saul, the Jewish guy in the wheelchair.
The Cyborg man.
Cyborg man, sorry. I keep saying right.
I always keep forgetting his voice from Jason Alexander. Like, holy shit. Yeah.
Right. They address all of that. And yeah, so that is pretty much it. So yeah, what do you thought about this?
All right. I really, really enjoyed this too. I was actually surprised at how well it's still funny, many references just come at you a mile a minute though, and it's just a majority of them, right, are just so incredibly smart too. There's a lot of cues to the Nolan Batman trilogy though, right down to Batman's team that you hear periodically when he shows up to certain references, like certain characters saying something or certain actions taking place, like, oh yeah, this is a reference to Dark Knight and to Batman Begins, and you even have a great scene where Batman says, well, yeah, Batman Begins again, or Batman Returns again, something along that line though. But go ahead.
Yeah, they had. Yeah, no, right. So to me, I find how I think about this show is that it's a more adult, raunchy version of Batman 66 because it's very.
Oh, really? You find so?
I always think about it. Yeah.
In terms of like how theatrical and over the top the characters are, right? Like how they talk.
How self-aware everything is, how goofy everything is.
That's a good point actually. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, and so they make it. Yeah, go ahead. But they make it work in so many smart ways. Yeah.
Yeah. I really, really dug where they took Harley and Poison Ivy's story. It didn't feel forced at all. It felt legit like, okay, these are two lived-in characters who have been through a lot and they know a lot about each other. So it's like, okay, do we take this chance or not, right? And it really brings up in a really nice, genuinely sweet, viewpoint about love itself. You know what I mean? There's the idea of it's a risk. You know what I mean? You might as well, take the leap, right? But if it's not meant for the best, or you think it's gonna damage the other person, then it's best to step down. Which leads me to Kite Man, who I felt, as far as characterization, they really stepped him up though, because first season you're thinking, oh yeah, he's a goofy guy, he's a kite, even show if he's actual DC character or not. Maybe he is, right? Yeah, but
he's one of the super obscure. What I see joke too is like he's one of the super obscure DC character because they could like do that or Condiment Man or somebody like that.
Yeah, who by the way, Condiment King shows up in this show here as well, right? In a great little subplot involving Kite Man, trying to rent out this what was this particular place to get married in, right? But what I really dug was, just his characterization. Because, at first, he was just this guy who was smitten by Poison Ivy. He was, just kind of hounding her down until she eventually kind of let him in, right? And I remember we even talked about last time that I forgot the term that you use in particular, but essentially that he's kind of there as a placeholder. Like I don't want to say friends with benefits, but just like he's there, but secretly she just kind of with him, so she could just kind of figure out if she into him or if she
Right.
prefers women, that kind of vibe now, right? But this last thing I want to talk about him, right? But I just dug the like just how he was feeling. You can see he was just stressed out about the wedding, about trying to
Right.
please his parents who show up in a particular episode,
Okay.
and where they go to the very end, with whether Poison Ivy really loves him or not, and where they end it off though, I thought wasn't that perfect. I thought it was just like, yeah, this is how I would
Yeah.
expect this character to react. It's not like, oh my god, how you could do this, blah 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 blah. It's
Right.
just like, look, so. I've had
No,
it.
I'm
I'm
glad.
done. Understand? Okay. I love that.
Yeah, glad that they left it hanging. Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
they left
It
us
does leave
more
it hanging.
fun.
So you're
Right.
not
And as
sure if he will come back one day, maybe. I don't know. But
right.
I'm glad with his
No,
stuff where they left it at.
like they left it hanging. Like we don't know what they're gonna do. They just leave it at a reaction. We don't know what the reaction is exactly. They just leave it at that.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah.
right. And
Um,
then the only thing they made the mistake with, I thought, is the whole dark side thing, which I thought they would have resolved a little better. That was kind of
oh,
clumsy because it was supposed to be funny, but like I thought Darkseid wanted a head, like stuff like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. The
and
moments with Darkseid were pretty funny. And
right,
props for DC getting back Michael freaking
yeah,
Ironside
and,
though to play
yeah,
Darkseid. I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, would
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I
Nice.
thought some of the jokes coming on to the end was kind of weak. So they had this joke, like everything with Superman, pretty unfunny. Like I get he's supposed to be corny, but like even
Yeah,
the
they
on the
they they
corny,
just made it
funny.
way worse though. Like, yeah, he man was
Right,
cracking some like doing some little jokes. I was like, dude,
right.
why though? Why?
But the thing is, even playing on the corny is not funny. Like that's the thing. Like if you're playing on the like you corny, but you're playing on the fact of the corny, and you can make that funny. But that wasn't funny. Like I felt
Right.
that just was kind of poorly thought out. Like they had like a couple jokes. Like they had one joke where he was with his boy. If you think I could talk, if I could talk like the parody buns, that makes you a
Oh
little
yeah,
racist.
that because I'm an alien, that means I could
Right.
understand parody, and that's
Just
racist. Yeah.
that felt completely flat to me. And she rolled her eyes at it, and I suppose that's the joke. But even that fell flat, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
What the stuff?
Just a few things I just want to mention about characters quickly, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, like a dog, like what they did with the villains, like especially with Riddler. There's a
right,
lot of chunk of time focus on Riddler. What they do with him, I thought was cool.
yeah,
Um, Penguin, I mean,
right. I'm glad
he
they did.
just shows up in one episode, but what they do here, I like that it was just like this wait, what's he looking for? It's like this snowball effect basically. So because
Yeah,
this thing happened to Penguin now Harley is like public enemy number one. Because essentially what
right,
happens is like all the villains pretty much rule Gotham. So it's called New Gotham. There's even a subplot involving Two-Face, who I thought was great though. Like there's the moments
right,
with him. Although I kind of argue like early on because there's a little flashback where you see him as normal Harvey Dent. All of a sudden as he turned Two-Face, he have this kind of hokey gangster accent all of a sudden. Like,
right.
like, yeah, man, we're gonna take over this town, that kind of vibe now. Like he had this kind of gangster thing going on. Um
Yeah,
there
they
was
had
a great episode involving Mr. Freeze Dread.
right.
And
That's
yeah,
I was about to
like
mention that.
what
Yeah,
they did with that though was like, but this is actually one of the episodes where you really show where they really prove how well they are in terms of character. Like they take the stuff that we know surface level, the stuff that you may know about if you're real deep into the comics, and they just expand that in such a way like to make it fit with the story, and it makes it work though. So you get some genuinely like heartfelt and emotional moments.
yeah,
That episode in particular, and then there's another one with a flashback involving Joker, right? Because yeah, they kind of answer the
right.
question what happened to Joker, and just it's
Yeah,
mainly
just that.
him meeting up with Harley for the first time. I thought that was a great episode though, even
Yeah,
though the Dark Knight references were on the nose, but I was just like, okay, I see what y'all did there. Yeah,
yeah,
Joker, Heath Ledger recipes. I
yeah.
see what y'all did. Yeah, yeah. But last thing, well, just a couple things I just want to say. Forget to your thoughts, right? I dug the voice acting in this. The voice acting
Yeah.
was stellar through the across the board, from Keely Cuckoo, who once again shines as Harley Quinn, Lake Bell as Poison Ivy, who is still the best Poison Ivy on screen in my opinion. I just love what they did with her character, just how insecure she is, but it feels real now.
Yeah.
And of course, Lake's voice just adds so much to it, right? To Jason Alexander as as Cyborg Man, JB Smooth, what I mean, just
Right.
everybody, you know what I mean? I even dug Tom Hollander, Dread, who played Alfred Pennywood, Dread. And I would
Right.
swear the man do like a near perfect Jeremy Irons ripoff, you know. Like at,
Right.
at,
No,
at
so
that point, I was like, wait,
episode,
this is Jeremy freaking Irons, sir. I was like,
no,
no,
right. So
it's it.
the episode that also stood out for me is the one where Batman wanted to come back in action and he couldn't heal up yet. Though. That
Yes, yes,
had me
yes, yes.
itches.
That
Was
was
so
that's one of the funniest episodes in the
yeah.
season. And I also
Awesome.
dug at first I wasn't sure what to make of it, but I actually like how it starts off with this self-aware moment with these two guys like, yo wanna watch today's episode of Harley Quinn? Nah man, this is some feminist shit, man. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, she's not even in this episode. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
because let's be real, it is pretty much a feminist show, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
done in a very smart, intelligent way, and I dug that, right? If I have one gripe to, and yeah, sorry, this is kind of a spoiler, right? So as much as I was enjoying the arc that Commissioner Gordon has, right? Okay, yeah, all
Right.
throughout this season, he had a really strong arc with him, kind of
And the daughter.
picking himself up from the ground and really becoming, the commissioner we knew him as, right? Literally cleaning up the city. We bring in his daughter, Dread, who of course we
Right.
know is Batgirl, but literally like 3-4 episodes near the end, they just forget about her.
Yeah, they didn't.
And
I thought they would have done. Yeah, I thought they would have done more with her.
yeah, and I mean, like I understand, like I get, okay, the last couple episodes is not really about she, but her father was involved though, so they could like it really felt like a majority of characters were put into this though, and just one more character I want to
Right.
mention afterwards, right? But you couldn't squeeze in Batgirl though. Just and I
Right.
was loving what they were doing with Batgirl though, like her
Right.
just trying to do what her dad can do now, but they just kind of forgot about it in the end though. So
Right.
yeah, I had to
So,
take down a point for that.
so picking up from Batman and then what they did with that, I thought was great. And
Yes,
that
yes,
box
yes.
around. I thought
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just
Last point I want to make, and then I'll shut up, right? I really dug what they did with Dr. Psycho, Dread.
right.
I was like, all right, like I didn't see that
Right.
shit coming, but what they do was well thought out, Dread.
Right.
And what I would say though, without spoiling it, and then I'll shut up, they really make this man out to be the sexist that he is, Dread. I'll
Right.
say once he acquires a particular device and shows people a certain something, I was like, bruh,
Yeah.
like
Right.
if anybody else had written that, they would have come off as forced, or okay, you're just pushing that envelope a little too much. But that moment, 'cause at first I was taken aback at it, but then I realized it's just really to show this how much of an asshole and how sexist he is, Jed. And
Okay.
because he
So
gets his comeuppance, I dug that actually.
yeah, no problem with that, right? The only issue with it is that they had the whole dark side wanting ahead now. That's the
Right.
only issue with it. So I thought they would have dark side like do something and he would have do something to dark side, but like dark side just leave now. And then he did the thing. So I thought they would have addressed that a little better. It felt a little jumbled, but that was about it.
Right.
But yeah,
But what I dug though, just talking quickly about Darkseid, is how it took like one of Harley Quinn's motivations and just amped it up by 1100. So it's like, oh, I
yeah,
want to rule Gotham City. Here's what I gotta do. I just gotta hook up with Darkseid, get the parademons. You know what I mean? So it just took it to the
yeah,
extreme now.
right. I know
Yeah.
I liked all of that because they was addressing and building it up for a while, and I was like, oh, did they actually decide to do this? But I thought they would have like brought in the more the other Furies at one point, but they might bring that for season 3. And
Hopefully,
like,
hopefully.
they kill off Gandhi Goodness, which was shocking. I thought they would have keep that character around, but no,
Yeah,
it's like yeah,
boy.
yeah. So that's about it. Yeah, it is this a solid season. I still prefer season 1 over this, but this is still pretty good. Mostly because they did the smartest thing they could do with the Ivy Kite Ivy Kite and Harley love triangle. I
Mhm.
thought they handled that the smartest, and I really thought they would have I thought they was going to do a thing with it, and it's like no, they just address it one time.
Yeah.
And I
Oh, and by the way, the scene. Well, we could argue that there was hinted at it from the word go, right? But I love the actual episode where it kind of comes full circle, and that's where they go to Wonder Woman's, where they go to
Right.
Themyscira
Yeah.
Dread. And like what they do, because Wonder Woman's not there because of reasons, I
Right.
thought was real clever. Though. Like just
That was
all the
fun.
stuff they
That
do
was
with the
good.
Amazons was real spot on
That
and
was
fun. I
good.
loved
Yeah, I
it.
thought that was a good episode.
Yeah. Although props for trying to give King Shark some backstory, but I didn't really quite dig the whole thing with him having to go back to the kingdom and meet his father, and he
No,
was
there's a
supposed
more.
to
Okay, so
marry
the joke.
someone.
Yeah, I just thought the joke there was that like all of them, he just basically have Aquaman story. Like it's the same story.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's an Aquaman story, but I mean King
Yeah, it's
Shark's
like
the
a
villain.
thing.
We don't really know him for this. Although there was a moment after, in like I think it's the subsequent episode involving his brother, which I thought was dark and pretty
Yeah, yeah,
hilarious. But how they played it off was great. But yeah, go on.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it's mostly. I'll say it feels not as it feels a little more like you see how season one felt really focused. This one
Yeah,
is a little less. Because I thought they would do the Legion of Doom stuff a little better and play out that a little better. Like I forget what exactly happened to Lex Luthor. He just kind of going in the background
he
and
just show up in one episode. Well, actually,
right,
that same episode in Themyscira, and that was it. Like I
right,
don't think anything happened to him per se. It's just he was
yeah,
just there. Well, sorry, it was just like a little communication thing, a little
right.
conversation basically, and that was it. Basically, that was it.
Yeah, and I felt they could have done the Legion of Doom stuff a little better this time around, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
And as I
again,
bring up that, just briefly, with all this which was going on with the villains, where was Lex in all of this? Like Lex could have come and,
everything,
like I say, unite everyone and restart the whole Legion
right?
of Doom instead of the
That's what
Justice League that we get here.
Yeah, that was it. He just disappeared. Like he not supposed to be like real important. He not part of Gotham. I get that, but still, it really matter.
Yeah.
As it is, it was fine. It's still pretty funny. They kept the focus on the characterization. Most of it could be like all the stuff I complaining about could easily be resolved in like episode 1 of season 3. The one thing I thought they was going to do, and they kind of played a little different, but they played roughly, played kind of similar, but changed up a little bit, which was Joker as a normal person. Thought they would have played that. What I thought he was going to do with that is they would do the Artiflex thing. And that's what I
Oh
thought he was
yeah,
going to
yeah. We mentioned that in our
Right,
season one. Yeah.
right. But they didn't do that. They decided to have it where he got family and he still kind of like that a little bit, but like, yeah, he gave back his memories and they do a little bit with that, which was pretty good. They have a great line in that last sequence, which is she's still flexible, which I thought was hilarious. Like that. Still
I
live.
remember that. Yeah.
So no, yeah, but they make it work.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
what I
one
like
more
about
thing before we get to Return. Oh yeah, well we should mention this. Catwoman makes her appearance in this. Played
right,
by
I forgot, right,
Sana
yeah,
Layton. And I was
yeah,
like, okay, well, props for making her black for one thing. But having
yes,
her, well, basically is like Poison Ivy was looking up to her in a way, and Catwoman's just like, ugh. But
right,
Catwoman is one of the first people who pick up on the whole, yes,
right,
Harvey loves Poison Ivy. So I dug that. But any
yeah.
thoughts on
They
her
make that
role in this season?
I wanted a bigger role for her as well, but I'll see. I thought she and Batman would have bounced off a little bit. Like we will see
Yeah.
that happen. But no, what I was saying is that the one thing I thought they did well is Joker and her, having to when they had to work together and as exes, them working off each other. Then like Joker already accept the whole thing about um her and Ivy now. And I thought they would have made that a thing. Like Joker's so jealous and such an asshole about the whole thing. I was like, no, he cannot move on. And he healthy in his own way, which worked. And I thought that was again a much more mature dynamic now than what it did, than what I expected, frankly.
Yeah, like it's not like we wanted a repeat of the first season. You know what I mean?
Right. So the writers room ahead of the curve in that way. They know what they're doing in that sense of the material and keeping it above board. In my opinion, you're not seeing it coming a mile away. They're doing things that I like, but not too in your face and too obvious. They make it a nuance, and I can't be mad at any of that. So yeah,
Yeah.
rating 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed for what it is.
All right.
I'll
Yeah, well, me, strong 4 to 5, man. I would have given it a 4.5, But yeah, they just pretty much ignore Batgirl the last few episodes. I'm like why though?
Right.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
y'all they have the skill to just squeeze in characters whenever they need to. But
Yeah.
yeah, they just totally like ignore the poor Gildred, who by the way, just found this out was actually voiced by Kaylee Cuoco's sister.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like I would not have picked that up though. So props to Kaylee for bringing her sister
Yeah. I
Brianna
would
on
say,
board. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Shout out.
yeah. So just a quick mention. In the wake of the failure of the Snyder style approach to the DC, all this ancillary material and other people working with DC material, making it work. So we have like this show, for example. What they're doing with Birds of Prey in the movies, and then like a show that I actually appreciate, but it's catered for little kids, but made by Lauren Faust is DC Superhero Girls, like something like that, which I find is a pretty good show as well.
All right,
Um,
I've actually never checked it out though.
yeah, but it's still young. It's still very young. It's like the My Little Pony, but if My Little Pony was the DC Superhero Girls, like that's
Oh,
what it is.
okay, you, but I will probably look at a clip, maybe you know.
Yeah, no, it might funny. But what make it work is just they handling a side of the DC universe that nobody really addressing other than the big shit. Like they're there and then they make it work. So that's why you had to do this stuff to make the material go forward. Forget, like, sorry to say it, people who are not supposed to be in charge of the material, in charge of the material, so they're fucking it up. And that gonna fix for a hot minute. So you best as well stick with the side stuff for now.
Yeah. Understood. But yes, folks, if you've been enjoying Harley Quinn, you'll enjoy this one for sure. If you haven't checked it out, please give it a look. I know for some people they might find the feminist angle to be kind of heavy-handed, similar to the Birds of Prey movie, but I mean it is what it is, right? But there's just still tons of comic book and superhero movie references, and just what they do with the characters though is just makes it even more fun, right? Despite it's still strong, powerful message, right? But yeah, can't wait to see what they do with season 3. I'm excited as hell for it. I don't know if we're gonna get it at the end of this year, given what's going on right now. But hey, this is like a healthy distraction from what's going on out there. So yeah, by all
Right.
means, give Harley Quinn season 2 and 1 if you haven't checked it out a look.
Yeah, because this season 2 came pretty quickly, a lot faster than expected. So
Yeah, it did. Like just pump all those 13 episodes, like boom. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
nice.
I think it's meant to be like one season anyway now, so that's why they made it already.
I get where you're coming from. I just kind of treat the first season as a season on its own.
Now they're talking about in terms of production.
Oh, okay. I got you. But yeah, so not much more we could say. Yeah, definitely check out Harley Quinn season 2.